Surprise, surprise, this step can also be very overwhelming for a lot of students. And the reason that this step can be really overwhelming is kind of like if you don't clean your room for a really, really long time. And it is so disorganized to the point where you don't even know where to begin starting to clean it. It almost feels like it's easier to set everything on fire, just start from scratch. And so this feeling of it being too overwhelming can actually happen usually for two main reasons. The first one is if in the previous steps, we actually didn't follow these tips correctly. For example, if you didn't keep it simple enough, or you focused on too many little details during the assimilation, and now you're just overwhelmed with all of this additional information that you don't know what to do with, and it's just too much for your brain to handle. Well, any brain to handle, my brain, I'm not calling out your brain. And so it's really important that we actually do these first two steps correctly so that we're not overwhelming ourselves when we need to go and reorganize it. But the other reason that we can be overwhelmed in this final step is when we spend too long before doing the reorganization. So for example, if you're spending too long in the assimilation phase and you're just adding more and more and more information, we're actually just piling up so much information into our schema that it becomes overwhelming for us to work with. So naturally, my hot tip for doing schema reorganization really well is to do it often. I generally recommend that for most studying, at a university level, for example, you should be reorganizing your schema, which means